तो दोस्तों, हम अगले सूत्र की तरफ बढ़ेंगे। तो साधना पाठ का 12वां सूत्र, तो पहले हम हिंदी में लेंगे। तो सूत्र क्या कहता है? क्लेश मूलः कर्माश्रयो दृष्टादृष्ट जन्म वेदनीयः। तो शब्दार्थ इसका क्या है? क्लेश मूलः, क्लेश जिसकी जड़ है, यानी कि क्लेश जिस तकलीफ की जड़ है। कर्माश्रय, कर्म की वासना, दृष्टादृष्ट जन्म वेदनीय, वर्तमान और आने वाले जन्मों में जो भोगने योग्य हैं। तो क्लेश जिसकी जड़ है, ऐसी कर्मों की वासना, कर्मों की वासना या भोगने की इच्छा वर्तमान और अगले जन्मों में भोगने योग्य है। तो सूत्र में कर्माशय शब्द से कर्माशय का स्वरूप, क्लेश मूल से उसका कारण और दृष्टादृष्ट जन्म वेदनीय से उसका फल बतलाया गया है। जिन महान योगियों ने क्लेशों को निर्वीज समाधि द्वारा उखाड़ दिया है, क्योंकि हमें मालूम है कि क्लेशों को निर्वीज समाधि द्वारा ही उखाड़ा जा सकता है, उनके कर्म निष्काम अर्थात वासना रहित केवल कर्तव्य मात्र रहते हैं। तो जिन योगियों ने निर्वीज अवस्था में, निर्वीज समाधि में अपने क्लेशों को पूरी तरह से जड़ से उखाड़ दिया है, उनके कर्म जो है निष्काम रूप में अर्थात बिना वासना के केवल कर्तव्य मात्र में ही रहते हैं। इसलिए उनको इसका फल भोग्य नहीं है। ये केवल साधारण लोगों के लिए है जो वासनाओं में, कर्मों की वासनाओं में फंसे रहते हैं। जब चित्त में क्लेशों के संस्कार जमे होते हैं, चित्त में क्लेशों के संस्कार जमे होते हैं, तब उनसे सकाम कर्म उत्पन्न होते हैं। तो क्लेशों के संस्कार अगर जमा है चित्त में, तो हमें मालूम है कि उन भोगों को भोगने के लिए जो वासनाएं उत्पन्न होंगी, तभी सकाम कर्म उत्पन्न होंगे। बिना रजोगुण के कोई क्रिया नहीं हो सकती। उन भोगों को भोगने की इच्छा और जो उसका प्रोसेस है, जब हम भोगों को भोग रहे होते हैं, तो वह रजोगुण है। इस रजोगुण का जब सत्वगुण के साथ मेल होता है, तब ज्ञान, धर्म, वैराग्य एवं ऐश्वर्य के कर्मों में प्रवृत्ति होती है। और जब तमोगुण के साथ यह मेल हो जाता है, तब उसके उल्टे यानी कि अज्ञान, अधर्म, अवैराग्य और ऐसे कर्म जो आपको ऐश्वर्य से दूर ले जाएं, उसमें प्रवृत्ति हो जाती है। यही दोनों प्रकार के कर्म शुभ, अशुभ, शुक्ल, कृष्ण और पाप पुण्य कहलाते हैं। यानी कि हम कर्मों की वासना में लिप्त होकर के अच्छे कर्म करते हैं तो पुण्य, बुरे कर्म करते हैं तो पाप कहलाते हैं। इन कर्मों से इन्हीं के अनुकूल फल भोगने के बीच रूप जो संस्कार चित्त में पड़े हैं, उन्हीं को वासना कहते हैं। तो वासना क्या है? जो भी कर्म हैं, उनके अनुकूल फल भोगने की बीज रूप में जो संस्कार चित्त में पड़े हुए हैं, यानी कि जो बीज पड़े हुए हैं कि इन भोगों को भोगना है। जैसे आपने कोई मिठाई खा ली और आपके मन में, चित्त में वासना रूप में आ गया कि मुझे मिठाई बड़ी अच्छी लगी, तो बन गया। और फिर आपके मन में हमेशा यही इच्छा रहेगी कि उस फल को, उस मिठाई को बार बार खाने की इच्छा, तो उसी को हम वासना कहते हैं। यही मीमांसकों का अपूर्व और न्यायिकों का अदृष्ट है। इसी को सूत्र में कर्माशय के नाम से बतलाया गया है। तो हमें यह समझना है कि क्लेशों की जो जड़ है, वह कर्मों की वासना वर्तमान और अगले जन्म में भोगने के लिए बेसिकली आपको क्या करती है? स्टिमुलेट करती है, या फिर उसी के चलते आप भोगों को भोग रहे होते हैं। तो आइए अब हम देखते हैं इंग्लिश में इसी सूत्र को। तो 12वें सूत्र में क्लेश मूलः कर्माशयो दृष्टादृष्ट जन्म वेदनीय। सो क्लेशा मीन्स impediments, मूला means the root, karma means the action, asaya means deposit, stock, drashta means which is seen, Adrishta means which is not seen, Jan means birth, and Vedaniya means which is experience. So, the deposit of the karmas has the kleshas as its roots. Remember that all the deposits of the karmas, whatever karmas we are doing, the kleshas are its roots. It is experienced in the present or the future lives. So, it can be experienced in the present and future lives. So, Maharishi Vyas states that the deposit or the stock of the karmas, which is mentioned by Maharishi Patanjali, the karmashaya. So, if you remember one more sutra, Klesh Karma Vipak Ashaya. So, Ashaya, Karmashaya, this word was used earlier also. So, the Karmashaya is produced from the karmas. Karmashayas are produced by the karmas, whatever we do. So, Karmashayas are produced from what? The Kam, the desires, the Lobh, Moh and Krodh. Mainly the desire, the greed towards the desire, the delusion for the desire, and if you don't get it, the anger for the desire. So Vyasa very clearly says that desire and its uncontrolled form of greed are ultimately the kleshas of attachment. And its flip side, aversion of this desire or attachment and the delusion is the manifestation of kleshas of ignorance. So, Rag-dvesh is again because of the desire and the greed. If you have desire, then only you will have a rag, and if you don't get that desired thing out of greed, automatically you will have aversion for that. So, Vyasa then discusses variety of karmas, good, bad, and its fructification. The example which Maharishi Vyas Vyas gives example of good karmas include performing austerities. So performing yoga, performing austerities, mantra chanting, cultivating the stage of samadhi or maintaining the stage of samadhi, worshipping Ishvara or the great sages with enthusiasm and determination. Such activities bear fruit in this lifetime. He illustrates bad karma as harmful activities directed against the faithful, infirm or helpless, those who have placed faith in oneself, the noble-minded or those performing austerities. So anything which goes beyond. If you start harming the people, those who are good, automatically you accumulate the bad karmas. In these activities, if these activities are performed intensely, they can bear their fruits during the present life. So if you do good karmas in a very intense way, you get the fruits in this birth only. So Vyasa illustrates the instant fructification of good karma by referring to the youth Nandishvara. So he says, Nandishvara, whose human form was transformed into a celestial one in that very life due to his intense performance of austerity. He further illustrates that immediate fructification of bad karma by the story of Nahusa, who was cursed by the sage to immediately abandon his celestial form of Indra and assume the form of a snake in the earthly realms due to his arrogance towards him. So these are different aspects of the karmas. So whether good or bad, all karmas is stored or imprinted as samskaras in the chitra. So we all know this by this time, that whether we do bad karmas, whether we do good karmas, or we do any type of karma, it is stored in the chitra. And in general, they manifest its fruits in either this life or maybe in future lives. Activities are virtuous and non-virtuous. Whatever we do, those activities can be virtuous and non-virtuous. And they produce the corresponding fruits of the virtuous and non-virtuous activities, whatever we do. Now, Patanjali states that the particulars of one's life, in the next sutra he explains, the particulars of one's life That is basically the type of the birth, what type of birth you are going to get, what type of family you are going to get, what type of friends you are going to get. Everything is because of your karma. Quality of life and the lifespan are all the fruits or the results of one's own karma. You cannot blame anybody, your parents, your friends, your teachers, your anybody, for your success and failures in your life. Remember, everything is because of you. So, Patanjali says that particulars of one's life, the type of the birth, quality of the life and the lifespan are all the fruits or results of one's karma, but the fruits of karma ultimately have kleshas as their root. Remember that. That is the moola. It is these kleshas that influence one to act in good or bad ways. Therefore, there is a vicious cycle. It is a vicious cycle. Kleshas provoke you to perform the karmas. If you have the kleshas or the roots or the bijas of greed, of desire, you will have that type of karmas. And karmas fuels the kleshas. Whatever actions you will do, again it is going to support or fuel or nourish the kleshas. So Vachaspati Mishra, he gives a very few examples of how the desire, greed, delusion and anger can be understood. So he says that desire can obviously produce bad karma. Desire can definitely obviously produce bad karma when one performs the disrespectful activity towards the God. So towards the God means if you automatically start disrespecting your people, your friends, your people, those who are good, it is basically disrespecting you. You are disrespecting to the Supreme Entity. Remember that. So impious acts out of avarice. So because of extreme greed, if you start disrespecting everybody, thinking you are the boss, you know everything, and whole world is full. So that is again, you are creating the desire, greed, delusion and anger because of that, because Rag and Dvesh will create all these things. So he says very clearly that bad karmas caused by anger again does not need any further example that it is going to give you the bad or negative results in your life. So delusion can generate bad karma, definitely, as in the case of taking the life of another one under the belief that doing so is a virtuous act. In the case of Bali Pratha, what we people listen, which is again not present in our traditional text of killing somebody, because when you talk about ahimsa, Pratishthānam tat samedho vairtyaga, and nobody talks about ahimsa bigger than yoga, bigger than the Sanatana. So, Swami Hariharan provides the following useful synopsis of the working of karma. So let us understand this. Any state of mind leaves an imprint of itself on the chitta. Any state of mind leaves an imprint of itself on the chitta. You are happy, you are good, you are bad, you are doing some activity. Everything is present as an imprint on the chitta. And as we know, this imprint is called samskara. We all know that this imprint itself is samskara. So imprints of good and bad karmas produce an accumulation of samskaras called the karmashaya, or the stock of the karma. So now you have understood that all the good and bad samskaras what we have done, the stock of that is called karmashaya. These samskaras are either born from the kleshas, pain, or may not be because of that. Those produced out of ignorance are born from the kleshas, but those resulting from true understanding are not. Remember that. So karmas can be accumulated in two ways. One is through the kleshas, another one is through the proper understanding. It is formal category of the samskaras born from the kleshas, whether pious or impious or mixed, in the nature that produces the store of karma into the karmashya. So this store of karma then fructifies and brings out the threefold conditions of one's life that are subject to be studied in the next sutra. We will study that. So whatever we have seen till this time, we have seen that whatever we do, whether it is good, whether it is bad, in whichever way, everything is getting stored in your chitta in the form of samskaras, and based on those samskaras only we will be getting the problems. So kleshas are, or the stocks or the karmashyas are the main reasons of all the problems in the life, and it has to be, the fruits of that has to be experienced in this present and the future lives.